Hi everybody, my name's Scott Hilly, independent film director and president of the ECU Film Festival Group, which encompasses 4 film festivals: ECU, the European Independent Film Festival, the All African Independent Film Festival, which takes place in Kigali, Rwanda, the All Asian Independent Film Festival, which takes place in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and the All Americas Independent Film Festival, which takes place in Mexico City. So we're hopping around like crazy Easter bunnies here at the ECU office, because in about 2.5 weeks' time we'll be having the 21st edition of ECU, the European Independent Film Festival, here in Paris. It takes place on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of April. If you're in Paris at the time, please come along. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous time. I always say it's like jumping into a swimming pool of creativeness, and makes you feel all warm and fuzzy and wet. So ECU Friday Live, today we're going to be talking to 4 of the filmmakers in competition here at ECU, and it's always great to meet them, talk to them, listen to about who they are and about their films, and why people should come along and see their films here playing in Paris. So first of all, I'm going to talk to Béla Baptsite. We already met the other night at the launch party. Béla grew up in Paris in an Austro-German theater family, dropped out of high school, as we all should have, and he swapped the stage for a camera and studied at Vienna's Filmakademie. Made a fabulous feature film called The OBELISK, which is competing in the non-European feature film category. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Where's your orange beanie? It stuck out like crazy.
It's so warm in here, so it's okay. I can get it if you want.
No, it's fine. So, Béla, tell us a little bit about you and your path to where you are now, having a feature film in competition here at ECU.
Yeah. Where do I start? Long story short, as you said, coming from a theater background, when I told my parents that I want to become a lawyer, they said they're going to kill me, and I should stick to it. And so I thought being somewhere else than theater is maybe doing movies. And I think after we're all a little bit similar, at some point you really just want to do a feature film. And this ended up existing because we just were a bunch of friends who said, let's do it together. And after a production company kept pushing us all the time, saying, yeah, no, let's talk again in a month. And we just knew it's just going to take 10 years. We just talked to each other and said, can we do it without anything? And we said, okay, let's fucking rock and roll this. And and this was only really possible thanks to the community and the team spirit that we already built, I think, over the time with each other. And so this happened, and developments in life, personal, political lives, led me to go back to Europe, where I'm now switching between New York and Paris. And here I am now, really happy to see our movie at ECU, and working on a new project at the moment. I hope I answered the question correctly.
Bit of an overachiever, just going out and making a feature film on like that with no support and whatever, and now on another one. So that's great. But OBELISK was a very interesting watch for me during the selection process. Very high production standards, excellently done. I think that you've done a very good job on this, young man. Tell us a little bit about the film.
So the OBELISK really follows two. You watching it now? No, it talks about two guys who meet in the wilderness of North America, and they decide to unite the force to end the corruption of the government, and go on an adventure, meeting all kinds of sorts of true American people, and doing whatever they can to be heroes in their own world.
We need a bit of that happening right about now, I would suggest, in the world. Tell me a little bit about the technical side of this. How long did it take you to shoot? How long were you out on set and stuff like that?
So principal photography was about 35 days, I would say. And then we had a couple of scenes in Washington, in Vancouver, and in New York, that was split up. I don't know. So I think it was like at least another week. And I think the biggest strength of this was, number one, we trained all in natural light. I mean, it's also very Austrian style, I would say. Of course, we would love to work with a lot of equipment, but a thing that I think was inspiring to all of us is there's a book called Status Anxiety from a Swiss philosopher. He doesn't talk about movies, but it makes you think like how many people out there are not making their movies. I met them too. I was one of them too, because I needed an Ari Alexa, ingénieuse, and maybe a full street of trucks. And if this doesn't exist, it's not a real movie. And that, of course, it's stupid, but it's a status anxiety. And to overcome that, yes, was I think also the drive for this movie. And then our two, I mean, the actors are friends, some just met, but it was a mixture of people who can stay sharp on indie productions. So that means that they're not just wanting to do one position, but also say, hey, I would love to schlep something. Can I do this? And it's a much more pirate crew, if you can say it like this. And also I think that the two camera people, they come originally from journalism and documentary. That means that I think they were extremely fast, and they just had the habit to focus pull themselves. Whereas on other sets I've been, it was, of course, they needed an entire battalion, like a cannon loader, somebody who puts the powder, etc. And it's a beast that works differently. It's not bad, but it's just slower. That we were like Black Ops.
How big was your pirate crew?
I think all in all, most of the time we were around 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you shot 2 cameras, you're saying, right?
Yes, 2 cameras.
Nice. That speeds things up a bit.
Yes. Synchronized and
fabulous. Again, fabulous. I mean, I love the idea of just like, let's go, let's just do this thing and do it quickly and very, very well. So good. Now we're going to go off to Alessandro. Alessandro is an Italian screenwriter, director, and producer based in London. His 3 short films prior to this one were featured in several film festivals around the world. It's written that Alessandro's goal is to tell unique and resonant stories in the realms of science fiction and fantasy, and also about against your nature, I would assume to say. Alessandro's competing in the European Dramatic Short category. How are you today?
Well, hey, Oren. Very good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. I'm always happy when I'm talking to talented independent film directors, that's for sure. Alessandro, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you already said a few details about me. I'm on my 4th short film now. I would say I'm still discovering myself as a filmmaker for sure. I think my latest film, Against Your Nature, that will be happily screening at this festival, is definitely a bit of a new step forward for me. I'm finding, perhaps retrospectively, that I'm quite interested in sort of making films about flawed people discovering themselves when facing impossible choices. It's something that I've definitely sort of highlighted in this film, but looking back, it was a bit of a guiding principle in my previous ones as well. I'm very interested in seeing sort of how these just impossible situations with seemingly no good way out sort of bring out sides of ourselves. And so dilemmas is my big thing, I would say.
You should come and work with us. We face dilemmas every day. Alessandro, the thing I liked about your film is there's a tremendous amount of subtlety in the way that you directed this. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your film, and then let's sort of like talk a little bit about the subtlety of how you conveyed the message.
Sure, yeah. So, for those who don't know, my film is dystopian queer drama. It's set in a world that's been decimated by a really deadly pandemic, and it follows sort of the efforts to repopulate the planet. But in this very sort of epic situation, we focus on an intimate relationship of two women who are forced to somehow conceive a child to help repopulate the planet, basically. There's a fairly obvious problem with that, which is really the dilemma of the film. So which one of these two women will go ahead with this procedure, let's call it? And I mean, it's, for a short film, it's quite a big concept, quite a big premise. So speaking of subtlety, that was it was definitely a driving factor in making it. There's a lot of information that needs to be conveyed for the story to make sense, really. So one thing I was very keen on was to just not dump too much information on the audience through just exposition. So it was all about finding, small moments that evoke a larger world, that are sort of peppered in throughout the film, so we gradually understand the situation that these characters are in, and connect more with their emotional journeys without being overwhelmed by the dystopia of it, basically.
I thought your two actresses were sublime, just very, very impressive. How long did you how long did you rehearse for, and then how long did it actually take you to shoot the film?
So that's really interesting you'd ask, because it was actually my first time having some rehearsal time on a film, and it made such an enormous difference, really. We shot for 4 days in Cornwall in the UK, and before that we had just 1 day to rehearse the entire film with our 3 actors at my flat, very friendly situation. But it really made all the difference to me, because on set as a director, you always have just a million things to keep track of and work through. So obviously performances are an extremely important thing, but sometimes it's hard to give them the time and attention they deserve. But in rehearsal, I really found it liberating to just play around and discover the scenes with the actors, try weird, different things, sort of find our way through them before we got to set. It was a really wonderful experience, and all our 3 actors were just really, really wonderful people, and amazing actors, as you said.
Yeah, no, it was a great performance. So congratulations, and I don't hesitate to say, I guess it was very, very good directing involved to get those performers. Now we're going to move on to Alina Popescu, who's done an animated film called Other Eye. Alina is an award-winning director, designer, and brand expert. Her expertise includes visual identity, website prototyping, and motion graphics. Her design projects have won numerous awards, and we're very, very happy to have her competing for the European Animated Film Award here in Paris. How are you, Alina?
Hi, I'm Alina. Thank you for having me. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm excellent.
It's an honor to be here.
Ditto. There you go. Tell us a little bit about you, Alina.
So my name is Alina. I'm based in Bucharest, Romania. I went to college in the US, studied film animation video, and then returned to Europe. And basically I'm working from here. I worked a little bit in Hollywood, in art title design and effects, motion, graphics, stuff like that. And now I'm doing a lot of 2D traditional animation.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about your film and the genesis and why you decided to make this one, and a little bit about it.
Uh, so the film itself is kind of a film about the hidden cost of things. I was presented to with this music from Quill that I thought was very haunting, very transactional in a way, if you listen to the lyrics. And it just kind of, I don't know, I started imagining this story about a young girl who goes into a cathedral and is worshiping this kind of really strange deity. She starts kind of offering gifts as tokens of devotion. And then the entire story escalates with her kind of sacrificing her own body to this goddess.
A romantic comedy then. There we go.
Truly. A day-to-day.
How long did it take you to make the film?
So the production was quite difficult because the team was very small and because 2D animation basically means frame-by-frame animation. So if it's 12 frames per second, and the film is 3 minutes, that's a lot of drawings and multiple layers. So the actual production took around a year with everything from storyboarding to, rough animation and cleanup and background and layout design, and at the end compositing. So I'd say like a whole year altogether.
Wow, that's a long time. You animators have patience that I can't even begin to understand. But also what you said then, there's a lot of drawing involved because a lot of people these days just think, oh, animation, you just put it into the computer and that's it. But that wasn't the case with you at all.
No. So this type of animation, you actually have to draw every single frame. And, even the frames that you see that are already drawn probably went through quite a bunch of trial and error. So the scene was probably animated like a bunch of times before the end result. So it's a lot of drawings. And, if you have 2 characters in the scene, then that's double the frames for each second that the 2 characters are in.
Did you ever do any videos of making of about the actual drawing experience?
Yes, so they're actually on my Instagram. I don't have a lot of them because I feel like it's very stressful to film yourself working when you're not entirely sure if you're gonna, hit the deadline or like if the scene is gonna come out okay. But I did do a few behind the scenes videos that are on my Instagram, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that my social media team are aware of this because I'd love to see them and post them and the reason is I worked on not the original Tarzan, but I worked on a Tarzan that they did years ago here in Paris.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I actually saw the guys. They used to flip through the pieces
of
paper.
Yeah.
Make a move, and I was transfixed by it. I just thought it was amazing. So if my social media team can get hold of that, and we'll post that and do stuff with that, because I just love that whole idea that you're drawing, and because in this world of just putting it into a computer and having it all happen for you, it's good.
It's true, yeah. I did draw on the tablet, so it's still digital, but when I started doing animation in college, we actually started on paper, so I was doing the whole like flipping and shooting of every frame, so it's a whole nother layer to that.
Yeah. But anyway, hand drawing on anything is great. Great. Now we're going to go to Miriam Garcia Marenstrass, who's director of Excess Baggage, which is in the European Dramatic Short category. Miriam is a French writer and director. Her work explores intimacy, emotional dependency, and fragile human relationships. Excess Baggage is her first short film, and the film has been selected and awarded internationally, screening at festivals in Europe, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and we're very, very happy to be playing it here at ECU. How are you, Miriam?
Yeah, very great. I'm really happy to be here with you.
So, Miriam, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, yeah, it's my first short film. I started with law studies, so and then I used to. I wanted to act, and I studied theater. Then I started to write, and then I had the chance to get in a residency of writing for this film, and it really helped me to to meet some producers, and I learned a lot about writing. And so, yeah, that's my first short film, and then I'm developing other project now, but yeah.
Great. It's great to talk to a recovering lawyer. And why don't you tell me a little bit about your film? Because I found it very, very touching and very well done. And my daughter has just moved away to Australia, which is 26,000 kilometers away. So I could relate just a little bit. But tell us a little bit about the film.
Yeah, at the beginning, I wanted to talk about emotional dependency, and I thought I wondered what was the best picture of that, and I thought, I think it's if a daughter goes to lives to summer camp, and when she's in the car, the mother falls in cry, and then she will feel guilty to leave. And I thought that will be the picture of the movie. So I started to work around this picture. And then, well, it's a mix because I grew up alone with my mom. So there's some things that might be personal inside, but it's really a mix. And I also wanted, that was a very important question, because emotional dependency is not for that doesn't concern everyone. So it means there's a problem with the mother, why she has this emotional dependency. And I wanted to assume that she had a mental health problem, but I didn't want to put her in a case. When I wanted to search money for the film, we asked me, is she bipolar? And I said no, and I didn't want to put her in the case, and I wanted to be larger than this, because I think you can have trouble without being put in a case. So that was something we work on. Yeah.
And how long did it take you to shoot the film?
We had 6 days of shooting, but it was quite short. My movie was a lot longer than this. I had to get rid of 15 pages of script.
Wow.
So yeah, it's half of the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Because we didn't have enough money to shoot more, but I had a lot of time before the shooting to have rehearsal with the actress, and that was really great because I was able to really work on the relationship between the mother and the daughter, and we get a lot of improvisation between the mom and the daughter to make them connect and to create a special bond that exists then on the movie, even though we didn't take some scene that they played on the movie. But the daughter was really, really great because she was quite different of other child, because at the end I have a lot of child, and they were very afraid of the camera, and then I thought, I think they have to relax, and I said, okay, you can take your bread and just throw it on each other, and then they forgot about the camera, and it was a lot of joy. But with Lou, the daughter, she is very clever in a way that I just had to say something, and I never had to go psychological with her. She just understood the feeling. She was really instinctive, and yeah, that was really impressive. Yeah.
Wow. No, you played a great role. Great part. Both of them actually very, very, very good. Okay, we're at the stage of the podcast where I'm going to hand it over to Rodrigo Estrada, who's the festival manager, and he does a great job setting all these things up, and he's going to do a quick question and answer session with the staff here in the office. All yours, Rodrigo.
Perfect. So thank you very much, all the filmmakers, for joining us. We are very happy to be able to screen your film this year, and our staff has some questions. We're going to start with Chiara.
Hello, hi, I'm Chiara, and I have a question for Alessandro.
Hi.
Hello, hi. So do you see this story as a warning or more of a reflection of the present or something else?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think it's a bit of both, I would say. It's certainly reflecting some things that I'm seeing in the real world, some sort of concerns about, reproductive rights and women's rights not going in perhaps the right direction as of late. So it's definitely reflecting that, but of course that's somewhere we're heading. Obviously the story that I've told is set in this devastated world, so it's a bit further away from our reality. Everyone's dead in my film, basically. Not everyone, but almost. So thankfully we're not quite there, but that's sort of part of what I always like to do, which is kind of abstract real issues into unreal situations. So a bit of both.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Perfect, thank you. Our next question comes from Penelope.
Hey, my question is for Béla. It was great to see you at the launch party, by the way.
Hey, comrade.
My question for you is, your film combines multiple narrative perspectives and found footage. So what challenges did this structure present?
Oh, wow. The challenge. Oh my God, I hope never to think of that again. But I think the challenge was to not spoil anything what happens at the end, and it needed a couple of brains to remind ourselves, no, but if we do it that way, then we will understand that it means this. And it was such a brain fuck. I hope it looks simple, but it was really complicated in our little rat's brains.
Perfect, thank you very much. Our next question comes from Tanya.
Hi. So my question is to Miriam. So your focuses on emotional dependency and intimacy. So what draws you to these specific themes?
Well, I think it was really about the intensity we had to find with the lead actress, and we really try to for each scene we had a lot of variation of acting, and we really had to find the one that was quite weird, quite intense, but not too much, because if not, it wasn't just. So it was really a work like that took a lot of time, and also I tried to stay really, really close of her, because I wanted people to feel really the emotion in her skin, in her eyes, and because all the acting was based on the micro actions. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you very much. And our next question comes from Sofia.
Hi, I have a question for Alina.
Good.
I was thinking, how did your strong background in design influence the visual language? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
influenced your the visual language of this film?
So I always try to combine kind of design with filmmaking and animation. I think it definitely has a lot of influence when it comes to the way that I think shots, the way that I think cuts and compositions, as well as color and clarity. It makes it, when I think about design and animation, it kind of makes it, helps me control everything a little bit better. I think there's like a certain understanding that you get through design that you don't really get from anywhere else. Even things like proportions and contrast and stuff like that is really important to make the shots, recognizable and memorable. So a lot of like the color grading, for example, is very influenced by design. Like to the point where a lot of people, if I show them like a color palette, they would like already know that I was like talking about the film, or like that it was influenced by the film. So I feel like that's kind of where I kind of try to like combine them.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much for all the people who asked questions, and thank you very much for the filmmakers. Does any of the filmmakers have a question for each other? Béla?
Who of you is going to be in Paris is one question I had.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all here. That's great.
That's awesome. Great.
Perfect, Scott. We're going back to you.
Okay, well that's great news to have all you guys here in Paris. It's going to be great. So just to talk through what will happen is we'll have a little question and answer session with all of you at the end of the session of where your film plays. So we'll call you up on stage and we'll basically talk a little bit about what we've just talked about, and then open it up to the audience. So they'll ask you some questions. So it's going to be fun and exciting. The festival's a great time. We have screenings all day, we have workshops, we have she shoots, which both Miriam and Alina will be invited to participate in female filmmakers in competition at a discussion panel we have, which is fabulous and well attended and a great thing to do. And of course we've got after parties afterwards where we network and drink too much and dance badly is generally how I approach after parties. But I did want to ask a question that sort of I keep trying to impress upon the young crew that we have working for us, and it's mentorship. And I'm just going to bounce around the Zoom here to find out whether there have been mentors in your life and how important it is, or they're not important at all. So Béla, I'm going to start with you.
Mentors. Is that question like a film mentor or a life mentor?
I think a bit of both. Actually, I think anything. I mean, when you're making independent film, it becomes part of your life and basically just squashes you under it. But yeah.
Yes, I mean there's really a lot. I think the biggest mentors in my life were people who explained to me or showed me a way of enjoying life. Because I had the impression it's so brutal to want to do things, and it doesn't need to be only movies. So I found respite in Rilke or in Marc Aurèle, but those were handed to me from then other people who went through those struggles too. I would say that a big mentor for a word was Klaus Michael Grüber. I didn't work with him, I was too young, but I heard many stories of this theater director, and he said you need to take the fear out of the actors, because when the fear is gone, they're so beautiful. And I think that is available, that is true for each team member, and probably the most about yourself. Still working on that. But yes, I would definitely love to say a big thank you for the philosophy of Klaus Michael Grüber. That would be a mentor.
I think that's an important thing to note to all of us, as long as you do keep working on yourself, because I think that's a never-ending process. Alexandra, what about you and mentors and mentorship, and how important it would be to the young people in my crew, and also was to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say my answer might be a little more technical and more recent, maybe. I think there was, well, in this film specifically, we had an executive producer who was actually my partner and co-producer's university professor. His name is Paul Mulrenny. He's a really, really brilliant man who I have to deeply thank for just the way he pushed me. He was involved with the film from basically the earliest draft of the script, and he just pushed me to be as thorough, to go as deep as possible with this film, in the writing, in the filming, in the editing of it. It was just, it's a fairly simple thing, it sounds like, but it feels like a completely different approach that just brings you further in a way that I hadn't done before. So I would have to say, a huge thank you to him, really.
Elena, what about you? Any mentors in your life?
So I think when I think of mentors, for myself, I actually think of Kyle Cooper, who is a filmmaker in LA and designer. I think the way that I approach my films is very deliberate because of his mentorship and because of how he considers every single frame in live action is very important. Nothing is kind of extraneous, like everything is very deliberate. The sense of style also, in order to like a very deliberate style that is there for a reason, in order to kind of show the message of the film, was very important. So because he considers all these things at once, I think he's always been a great filmmaker that's influenced everything that I've done after I worked with him in Hollywood.
Nice. Miriam, do you have a mentor in your life?
Yeah, I have several mentors because, as I said, I started this movie in a residency that was really, really important to me. And inside I had two mentors really that helped me to write. And I learned so much from them that for my next project, I'm always looking to work with them. And there's the director of the residency that selected my project at the beginning, and who runs the festival. And I really value his look, so he reads every of my project because he's really generous, and he gives me feedback, and it's really important to me to have his feedbacks and to be able to count on him. So they are a very important person in my life, and I really value to be able to have this connection with them. And for example, on my feature, I got to another residency, and there was one of my mentor that was a mentor of this residency, and that's why I tried to get in this residency. So it's important to me to keep on the work with them. Yeah.
Well, good. And I'm sure having four very talented filmmakers, I hope that you push the baton on to the other younger people coming through, because there's no doubt that without having the people around me when I was going off to war and doing all these things for the BBC, I was surrounded by mentors who it wasn't a very obvious thing, but now I look back now about how the support and whatever they gave me. But I read a lot of Stoics, And I read a good one, which I try to share with the young crew around me, but it's like, words are moments, but actions are momentous. And I kind of like that. I like that very much. I think it sort of fits into our world. You know, I'm sitting here with 4 very talented filmmakers and who have taken that step and not just talked about making films, but have actually done it. So, you know, words and momentous. I think it's a great thing. I'm going to talk a little bit about our festivals here for the moment. ECU is happening on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of April here in Paris. We're then going to move on to the All Americas Independent Film Festival in August. Then going down to Kigali again in Rwanda in October. And then finally, to wrap off a rather busy year, we'll be heading back to Phnom Penh in Cambodia in December to have the All Asian Independent Film Festival. So we're going to be busy, and as I say to everybody that joins us as part of the official selection of ECU, once you're part of our family, unfortunately, we're not going to let you go, because we're very proud to be a filmmaker run by a film festival run by filmmakers. I'm a film director. That's what I do for a living, and that's what helps pay more. That's what pays for the film festival. And so the fact is that your films have been judged by a submission judging panel of about 60 people who have all been part of ECU over the years. And we're going to throw you into that mix as well next year, so you can look at some of the films in your categories to help us choose the official selection for ECU 2027. And I feel that we're rather unique, being a very big film festival, but being run by people that have been part of the festival, know what it's like. I think we all share the same sensibilities, as disparate as we all are. I don't have much more to say, except I look very much forward to seeing you in person here at Paris in a couple of weeks' time. Just to let you know that we're going to kick off on the Friday night about 6 o'clock at the festival location, which is the Sept Par Nation in Montparnasse, where we're going to stand around and have a few drinks, listen to a bit of music, get to know each other, and then it's going to be a crazy ride for your film, the festival, and to see your films up on a big screen. We like that. It makes us feel good. It's worth the reward of the complications that we just a couple of things that I marked down. You know, the indie spirit. I think that we all very much share that. Teamwork is a thing that, you know, it's impossible to make films without teams, and you know, it's a big thank you to them. And I love the fact that, you know, impossible dilemmas. Alessandro, I mean, that's my life encapsulated in 2 words. And the fact that, you know, life is complicated, but when you get through, and you know, again, when you see it up on the big screen, all those complications just fade away. So big thank you to the ECU team, Rodrigo, for putting this together. Have a great Easter. May the Easter Bunny deliver lots of chocolate to you. And again, I cannot wait to see you all in Paris in a couple of weeks' time. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you.